Hi boys and girls, today we're going to work to find the unknown measurements of a rectangle when we're given either the area or perimeter. Let's take a look. Okay, so let's look at this problem. Fred has 30 yards of fencing to enclose a rectangular vegetable garden. He wants it to be 6 yards wide, and we want to know how long will the vegetable garden be. So let's take a look. The question's asking us, how long will the vegetable garden be? How long? Okay? And we know that he has 30 yards of fencing total, and he wants this width to be 6 yards wide. Now, what we have to do first is decide what the problem's involving. Is it the area we're looking for or the perimeter? We have to think. Fencing goes around the outside of a garden. So we're going to be measuring to look for the perimeter. So I'm going to draw out my garden. So let's see. I'm going to do a rectangular garden. And we know that he wants it to be 6 yards wide. Okay, so we have 6 yards. We don't know what our length is going to be. That's what they're asking us to find. But we do know that our perimeter, the total amount of yards he has, is 30. So our perimeter equals 30 yards. Now we have to think about our formulas that we would use. So remember, our formula for perimeter that we just learned is 2 times the length plus 2 times the width. Now we can plug in what we know. Well, we know the perimeter is 30, so I'm going to have 30 is our total, which equals, if I do my 2 times my length, which we don't know, that's our unknown right now, plus we have 2 times, we know our width is 6, which is, when we do 2 times 6, we get 12. So we have 30 equals 2 times L plus what we found before, 2 times the width, which was 6, so 12. Now we can think that this right here is our unknown. So I'm just going to move it over here so I have room. 30 equals something plus 12. And we can think about 30 minus 12 will give us our n, our unknown, right? Because think of inverse operation. So we have to regroup. That becomes 10 and 2. We get 18. But remember, n is like 2 times something, the length, to get 18. So 2 times what gets me 18? 9. So our width, or our length, sorry, is 9. So I'm going to cross that out. Our length is 9. So looking back at our question, which was how long will the vegetable garden be? We just found out that it was 9 yards. Let's take a look at one more. Carol has 120 square inches of wood. The piece of wood is rectangular and has a height of 10 inches. How long is the base? Okay. So the question's asking us how long is the base. The information that they're giving us is that its total piece of wood is 120 square inches. Think about square inches. The piece of wood is rectangular and has a height of 10 inches. Okay, so here's my piece of wood. The height is 10, so I know that is 10 inches. Okay, we want to figure out how long it is. What's the base? How long the base is. Now, think about what we have. We have to decide if it's an area or perimeter problem. When we see this word, square inches, we have to think area. So we're going to find, we need to work with area. Now we can think about our formula. the formula for area we know is the base times the height. Okay? Now, we already know that the height is 10. Let's change the color. We know that the height is 10. We have to find out what B is. And do we already have the area? We do. It said that it was 120 square inches of wood. So 120. Now I have to think something times 10 is going to get me 120. And if you're thinking 12 times 10 equals 120, you would be right. So B, our base, is 12. So I'm going to cross out my question mark and put 12 inches. And that is my answer for that one. Tomorrow in class, we'll work more with finding the area or the perimeter. Nope. I know you guys said you wanted me to keep the bloopers. But tomorrow, we'll be working more with area and perimeter and finding unknown measurements. Have a good night.